Hello, my name is Dr. George Mochocki. This can be about a 10-minute quick overview about what you will be reading in the next 8 or 16 weeks in the course that you're taking me in Marketing 217 Advertising at Harper College. Okay, so here's what we have. We're going to do, there's 19 chapters in the book. You're going to read all 19 chapters. You'll be exposed to all 19 chapters. If you look at my mind maps, this is a concept maps, a mind map that I utilize within some of the chapters. They'll tell you what's important. So you can look at the back of the chapters. It has the vocabulary, any kind of principles of advertising or principles of marketing, or any kind of introduction to your first level of advertising in this case. There'll be mostly definitions, theories, and concepts, so you understand how you apply them, when they're applied, and how they fit what we've been learning. You're already you've taken a marketing class as a prerequisite, so you already know how this part of advertising is part of the integrated marketing communication that we'll be talking throughout this series or this class that you're taking with me. Okay, so let's go. Let's go by the chapters. There are 19 chapters. If you're taking me in a summer class or in a face-to-face, it's usually either 3 chapters a week or 2 chapters a week. So let's go on chapter 1. Chapter 1 is basically, all we're going to be talking about was advertising. Advertising basically is publication. How do I advertise? Remember, part of the marketing communications, which we'll talk about the 4 Ps. We're talking about the different dimensions of marketing. When you look at integrated marketing, you got personal selling, you got advertising, you got public relations, you got promotions. All that's part of the integrated marketing communication. So we'll explain advertising in this chapter, and I'll go right through it. I just want you to understand that it's a component of the integrated marketing communication that all companies, when they want to communicate to the customers, or stakeholders, or to regulatory officials, they utilize through marketing. And through marketing, advertising is basically my media portion of it. The next part is the big picture evolution of integrated marketing communication. I've already talked about a little bit about that. So this whole chapter is just giving you a understanding of what you've had in a marketing class, introduction to business that you've taken me or some other instructors, and I teach consumer behavior, and some students may take it in order, or you may jump around. But this one for advertising, you had to at least have the marketing, because it's just a component of the integrated marketing. Okay, so you already understand the big picture. Now, chapter 3 is going to go big picture, but now it's going to look at the economy, the economics of marketing, or advertising. Where do I advertise? Which media do I use? Do I use printed media? Do I use something on the web and through the internet, through Google or some other kind of a form of advertising, which is more less expensive, reaches more individuals, but may not be as controlled as I would if I would do specifically through the household or through certain publication. So remember, where I put my advertising makes a difference from an economic standpoint. How much I'm paying and how many people are going to see my ad. And remember, it's part of the integrated marketing communication that we've been this whole series of marketing or advertising that we will be exploring. Okay, and then the regulatory aspects. What is ethical advertising? Do I advertise to children? At what age is ethical? Or do I advertise? My ads shouldn't be discriminatory. How risque can they be? How provocative should they be? Could I offend some individuals? I could offend non-individuals. All that basically is the ethics and regulatory climate which we as advertisers or marketers have to be aware of and have to be able to be conscious of that. A lot of times we'll push the envelope, but we don't want to cross that line where we have bad publicity, PR, or we have legal issues facing us, which could shut down our business, or it could be costly from an economic standpoint. Okay, chapter 4, scope of advertising from local to global. Remember, a lot of times from an advertising campaign, we would like to have a slogan that could be international. But I understand that different cultures may take certain things in the wrong way. If I look at the American flag, we have it all over. It shows patriotism. Now, if I would have a picture of the Quran or a flag from a Middle Eastern country that may have the Quran in there, that could be disrespectful. So what works in the U.S. may not work in another country. Now, the other thing you have to look about is when I'm looking from global ads, a lot of times if I could just have the ad that has the same thing, and all I have to do is change. Right now, if I'm talking to a Polish or European audience, I just change. My face is perfect. But if I'm talking to Hispanic, or I'm talking to African American, or if I'm talking to a Chinese audience, if I could only change the face and everything else looks the same, the face of the things, but my campaign, the slogan, everything else works, that basically I get more money economically for my ads, my slogan, everything else. And sometimes you try to do that, but remember, a lot of times you have to be careful, because in certain ads, if you look at advertising, those who are taken into a business, we show a lot of pictures. If I look at a baby formula, the picture of a cute baby. In certain parts of developing countries, if they see that they can't read, so the literacy rate isn't there, so if they see the picture of a baby, they think that that's the ingredients inside the jar. So remember, so you got to just be conscious. But you want to find an ad that works across multiple segments, even internationally. So I could do the European market and change a little different for the Asian market, and change a little different from the Indian market, from India, even though they are in that hemisphere, which we would consider Asia. Okay? All right, so we have that. Now let's see. The other one is chapter 5 is marketing and consumer behavior. There's a whole course that Harper offers in consumer behavior, and I teach that one also. I forgot what the number is offhand. But when I look at the consumer behavior aspect of that, I have to understand the consumer, not what I think, but what the consumer, where does the consumer read, how the consumer takes information, how does the consumer absorb information, how does the consumer process information, at what stage should I put my advertising that ties in with the marketing or the visual. A lot of times some of the advertising could have a jingle, could have a slogan, but it's at what stages, where do I put it in there? Everything else to build slowly to plant the seed, and then basically water that seed until it fruits, and then they say, oh, geez, I want a Big Mac, or I want to buy your thing, or I want to go to Harper College and take more advertising classes or more marketing classes. Okay? That's just a quick overview. And the next one here is in chapter 6. How do I break down the segments? We've been working at in marketing, because that's a prerequisite, so you had a basic marketing. Now in advertising, now that I understand through market research and market analysis who my customers are, what print, how do I reach those customers, now I have to be able to actually formulate that print, that ad, or in the social media, and be able to present that to my clientele, segment it through that marketing, working with the marketing mix, and using different derivatives of the advertising strategies. That's what we're going to be covering in that chapter. I don't want to cover too much. I just want to give you a little taste. Oh man, I'm going to learn a lot when I come out of here. We have people here that are taking this for a degree. There are some individuals here that are here for your small business owners. You're taking this class at Harper, because we're a junior college and we assist small businesses. Harper also has a whole business section that could fine-tune the classes, and they utilize a lot of the instructors that teach the accredited courses and utilize it to your specific business. There's a program called Business Simulation that is a learning organization, and you have students that have all aspects of marketing, sales, marketing, sales, promotion, and advertising, and they basically come up with a marketing plan or an integrated marketing thing for a specific business. So you could call the business office at Harper, and they'll be able to assist you. It's called Business Simulations, and it's usually on Wednesdays during the daytime. And then, if you're a business owner, come on in, or if you're just new to business and you want to see how it works with a team in a collaborative setting, that's a good setting. I sometimes will teach that course or substitute. So it's an excellent thing if you want to get that real hands-on feeling and learn. Or you can take some courses at Business Institute that Harper College also has. Okay, so now chapter 7 is research, 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 research. You have to do the research before you do any kind of advertising. And research is what are my competitors doing? Because I have to at least be able to match their if there's any kind of giveaways or information. So I'm similar. So plus the competitors, for lack of better words, if I know what they're doing, so they already maybe they did all the research, yeah? So I could follow along and say, okay, they're already reaching the target for whatever reason. And I could see their sales, so I could just tap in and make mine a little different, or even similar to theirs. It depends where you are as a company going forward. A lot of companies want to be different, stand out. Other companies are followers, and that's you're going to find with advertising. You see one slogan goes, next thing you see the other slogan. It still has the same, has effect, but not as powerful as the first time you saw it for this a certain company or just certain product or service that they were promoting through that. Okay. So now we took care of 7. Boy, I'm only on 7, 8. I'm going to take me a little longer in here, but I want you to understand what this whole course is about. The reading you do, you have to read. Just don't think everything else you're going to do with my short YouTubes, everything else. You have to read the information. You're planting the seeds. We talk about it in the forums. You're taking me online, or we lecture or inside the class discussions. I'm very little on lectures. I like to do more class discussions, and then we basically develop looking at your own business, your own industry that you're in, or your own, or where you want to go into, so you understand that. Okay. So now chapter 8 is looking at marketing and implementation plan. If I'm looking at anything else, if I'm looking at a plan or an action plan, I have to have steps. When I'm going to market, okay, so now here's the product is going to come out to the market. When do I advertise? Advertise ahead of time, but not too much ahead of time because people forget it, throw it away. So you have to have the timing and the right time, and you have to have the advertising so the products already on the delivery shelf, already at the manufacturer, already has a majority of done, or they already have it in the distribution chain, knowing by the time the ads comes on, they should be at the stores ready for that. So all that is basically when you have to do is implementing the time in that's why when you're taking marketing over, you have to understand the distribution system. You have to understand all aspects of the marketing chain: product, price, and promotion. Okay, planning a media strategy. When do I announce it in the media? When do we communicate? Remember, you can't just have one ad and people forget about it. Part of the whole integrated marketing communication. I read it, I hear it, I see it, I feel it, I touch it, I hear it on social media. My friends are talking about it. I walk in the store, I see the ads. All this is basically working on me. It's almost like an environment that's also yes, I want to buy your product. And that's what marketing and advertising is. That's what's the fun. That's why when you're taking psychology classes, how do I do the reward reinforcement? I was trying to think of the thing for psychology. Reinforcement concepts by reward, by promotions, by showing. And that's how you learn. Once you touch all the different senses, just like you're taking this class, you listen to me online, you read the book, you're writing down the notes. Every sense you could bring in, the more senses you could bring in, the better you are at retention, moving it from short term to long term. So when you have to do critical thinking, you have to understand, how do I solve this? I've got all these chapters we're learning and advertising. I could just pull it in because different senses will bring it to me. In my mind, I visualize it, and all of a sudden it's almost like a computer. You find your when you go on file, you find it down, Harper College, boom, 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 and then you finally get to the detail you're looking for. Okay, we're halfway through chapter 10, creative strategy and creativity. Remember, if you're in advertising or marketing, you have to be creative. In creativity, I may not be an artist, but I can think out of the box, I think different ways. In advertising, if you're in advertising, you should be fairly artistic. If you look at me, I'm not the best artist in the world. I've taken art classes, I could draw, but I could appreciate art. I could see how the color combination is. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at different dimensions of art. I may not be the one that actually draws it, and a lot of times people nowadays, because they're not good drawers, for lack of better words, they're graphic designers. Just programs in there that basically will design the picture animation that looks just like me, that comes so close to me, and they'll fill in the lines and they'll give me the composure. But I still have to put the color. I have to look at the features. I have to know how the body moves. That's all part of the whole process of advertising. Okay, so let's go into chapter 11. In chapter 11, well, we're going to be talking creative execution, art, and copy. Again, you could contract out if you're a small company, or if you're that artistic individual, you at least have to give the individual who's doing the art stick people, so he or she knows, I want 2 people touching, I want 2 people looking around, I want a smiley face, or whatever. That's part of the art. Or I want the actual individuals, or this is the right, what is a typical and I don't want to say stereotype, but generalized person that will be buying my product, and how will he or she dress, and how does it complement other products that I am selling or services that are out there, or what makes me different. It's part of the whole ad. If I'm looking at ads from Marshall Field or everything else, if I look at the pamphlets, they're real high gloss, thick things, but they're very selective on who they send it. They know who's got the money, who's got the capital to spend it. Not that I'm rich, but they do send us stuff, information to individuals who have a certain income or a certain geographic area we're living that has a higher potential of buying, figuring a different demographics that may not have that disposable income. All right. Okay, so now in chapter 12, what we're going to have is print electronically, digital media production. How do I put my ads out? It's a lot inexpensive on the media, but people forget it right away. Sometimes it's nice to have it, but flyers. Remember, you have to use different modes of distribution, because some people may not look at the computer all the time. Some people may just delete you right away because they figured you're spamming. So how do I get to them in different ways? I'm waiting on a train, because the train's going by, and I got the billboards. I'm listening to the radio. But if I'm doing a radio, I don't want to make it long. Go to George's place. He's located in Lake Zurich, or go to Harper College in Palatine, whatever. You know what I mean? Or extension. All those are signs. All those are advertising that's getting attention. We're bombarded with a lot of advertising. So you have to be unique. You have to still be something that's not controversial, but something that catches the attention, that fits in, that's a little bit different. So you look at it. What was that? Right? That's what part of your advertising. So what I use, print, electronic, or you use a combination of all. It's not one or the other, because you're reaching different markets. 13, using the print media. We go more into the different types of print media and why do you utilize it. Using electronic media, television, radio, costs, and we'll explain that as part of the advertising, the different jingles. Let's see, using digital interactive media. If I'm looking at something where I could come in some games and you could win, and if you look at a lot of things with the apps, you do so much with my kids, they get stuck with all the apps, free apps, download after a while. Oh, I got to get another person, $5 here, $5 here. What if they done this interactive? They know once they reach a certain thing, they got me hooked on it, or got my cello, or something. It's still ethical, but all right, I'm in advertising. Come on. All right, so we did pretty good. So it's digital, using out-of-the-home exhibits, supplementary media. There's different media, smartphones you could use. You could use the different social medias that they'll be talking about. Talking here, social media. A lot of people always think of Facebook. If I'm looking for business, I look at LinkedIn. There's different medias. How do I advertise through there and through the business or commercial? So I have my Facebook, which is where I'm a crazy dude. Not really, you know what I mean? Or then I have my professional, or LinkedIn is one, and there's other ones out there, okay? So let's see, do I do that one? Yeah, social media. And then 18 is relationship building, direct marketing, personal selling, and sales promotion. Remember, sales promotion is buy one, get one free. Just persuade you to take the next step and buy. Personal selling is very expensive, but now personal selling, look how we could do it. We could, if I look at an Apple product, if I have an iTablet or an iPhone, I could do FaceTime, or if I'm doing on a regular phone, I could do Skype. So now I could talk to an individual face to face. I may not be there, may not touch the person. It may be good, it may not be, that may be bad, but at least I have more of an, I improve the communication channel by enriching it, because you see my face, my nonverbal, my voice, and everything else. As long as the communication static's not in there, we're doing fine. Okay? And let's see, in chapter 19, relationship, public relations, PR. Remember, that's part of the advertising. When do I bring the mirror in? When do I bring in public relations? Public relations, I manipulate, for lack of a better word, make sure I'm there for the public relations, but I cannot control the message once it gets out there. But the good thing about public relations, something that goes global, because something we did, I helped this, my ad was so cute, or so the jingle was so nice that it went global. Everyone's singing it, looking at it. And to remember the name, that cost me nothing, and I've got advertising worldwide, and it's more credible. But remember, I could have also a negative response if it's just controversial. Something, if I looked at something they had, one of the football play, I want to say NFL commercial or NBA commercial. I can't remember which one. Just recently, where they're doing some kind of beer, and he says we just throw her down or something like that. But it was basically domestic violence. So it was a negative. It was supposed to be cute, but turned around to be negative, and that got public PR in a negative against the industry. I didn't really remember which one. It just caught my eye, and I don't want to expand on that because that's not the intent of this. But I was just using an example. So whether it's NBA, National Basketball League, or the NFL, National Football League, it's irrelevant. They all messed up at one time or the other, so you have to pull the ad out and have to make an apology. But or they want a good positive one. Look, we helped someone else. Our ads were inspiring. Okay, so basically that's what a quick overview in Marketing 217 advertising for the reading and the chapter going. You'll have another YouTube that basically will be talking about how do I take an online it'll be an online orientation, just going through different lectures and everything else, utilizing Blackboard and everything else, so you'll know what's expected from me. Some of you have already taken me for different classes, whether in marketing or consumer behavior or in management. I'm a double major, so I teach in both areas. I've worked in both areas, so I have a very good handle from a personal as a consultant, and also from coming out of the corporate world. Again, my name is Dr. George Mochocki, and this is just a quick overview on the chapters reading that you'll be expected in taking in Marketing 217, advertising, part of an integrated marketing communication that you're taking and going for your degree in marketing, or if you're just taking it as an elective. And I'll see you. Bye.